Hello there everyone, it's Kathy Champion and you're back here at my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm located here in Gastonia, North Carolina, but I can take care of your stamping needs no matter where you're at in the USA. So with that being said, if you currently do not have a demonstrator that you're working with, I would love to be your demonstrator, help you with whatever you need, talk to you about everything Stampin' Up! So if you are interested in knowing more about Stampin' Up!, whether it's shopping for the products or even becoming a team member, please give me a call or shoot me an email and let me know a good time to talk to you, and I will be more than glad to answer any of your questions. And if you order from me, I will make sure that you are well taken care of. I try my best to take care of my customers to the very best of my ability. And with all that being said, I want to also say that if you shop with me, I do give rewards for my customers that shop with me. So if you spend $50 or more, you will and use my host code, which you should see right about here, you will receive a free gift from me. I also have a monthly drawing for a prize. This month I am giving away this beautiful corner bouquet stamp set. So all you have to do is place make a purchase on my online store, use the host code that you saw just a few minutes ago, and your name will be entered into a drawing for this beautiful stamp set. And this is a brand new and it's a cling stamp, so when you get it, it'll come like this. You'll pull these off and you'll put your stickers on it so you can see. And I do have a video showing how to put these stickers on, so I will try to link that in the bottom of this video under the description, and that way you can go and pull that video if you happen to win this, so you'll know how to put those stickers on. Okay, we got that taken care of. They are still promoting the extra $25 in Stampin' Rewards through the 14th of this month. So that will go through this coming Monday. So if you have an order, or if you have some friends that want to place an order, get the order together, go put it in on the website, and you can either share the rewards with your other person or persons, or you can get all the rewards yourself just for placing that order. So it is definitely a win-win, because on a $250 order you get 10% stamping rewards, so that's already $25, and then Stampin' Up! Through the 14th is going to honor with another $25, so that's like $50 in free products, and who doesn't love free? I know I do. Alright, today I am going to center in on this particular bundle right here called Art in Bloom. And I think this has gone kind of overlooked in our catalog because of the fact it's really hard to say how this works, because the dies come with the embossing folder. And the reason the dies come with the embossing folder is these beautiful flowers that's on this embossing folder, and I don't know if that's going to do it justice. I did emboss a darker piece of cardstock so you could see the beauty of that. Is that not gorgeous? But the dies will cut out those flowers, and here are the dies, and this is what makes this set so beautiful. You can actually cut these flowers. Let me get them going in the right direction. You can cut these flowers out like that and then run them through the embossing folder. And I mean, come on people, let's get real. This is gorgeous. Not only that, but the stamp set as well has this one big stamp where you can stamp, cut, and emboss that whole group of flowers. Not only this stamp set is a two-step stamp set, so the stamps over on this side give you your solid color so that you can stamp over top of this, and we're going to play with this set today. I love this. I thought it was so unique, and of course I had to have it. On top of that, I am going to challenge myself, because every month my team, the team that I'm on, not my personal team. It works kind of strange with Stampin' Up. Not really strange, but when you sign up, you are under a team. So even as you grow and build your own team, you are still under the team that you joined under. So my team is Blooms and Butterflies, and then of course my team that I formed is the Inky Chicks. So everybody is able to distinguish their own team. But we have a challenge every month that's called the Card Color Challenge, and this particular month for June, these are the 3 colors, and I don't think this is a challenge at all. Blushing Bride, Highland Heather, and Garden Green. And I am going to make a card using this bundle, this one right here with the beautiful embossing folder and this gorgeous stamp set and the dies. So we're going to play around and see what we come up with, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get started and decide what we're going to do first. Alright, I think what I want to do is I want my card base out of this Blushing Bride. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my trimmer. Let's move some of this stuff out of our way. I'm going to grab my trimmer because the first thing I want to do is cut this down into a card base. So I'm going to cut it at 5.5 on the 11-inch side, and this will give me 2 card bases that are 8.5 by 5.5. So let's put this back into our trimmer / scoreboard. I'm going to move my blade down, and I'm going to put this at 4 1/4, and I'm going to give that a good score. And then I'm going to fold my card, and I'm going to leave the trimmer out. You know why? Because I know we're going to need to use it again. I am going to grab a bone folder because I do want to burnish this down really good. I like to do this because it makes my cards lay nice and straight and even, and I like to iron those little edges out. But then if you've watched any of my videos, you know that about me. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to cut a mat to go on the front of this, and I'm going to cut it I think I'm going to cut it, let's see, how do I want to cut this, y'all? I think I'm going to cut it this way, and I'm going to cut a piece off that is 5 inches. I'll tell you what, let's do a 5.5 by 5.5. You know why I'd like to cut them at 5.5 by 5.5? Because I know that that's going to give me a card base. So even if I don't use all this, I'll have a card base off of this end. And that's always smart to do, because now from this one piece I've got 2 card bases, one in Blushing Bride and one in Highland Heather. So that's always a good thing to do. Now this piece, I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut this at 4 inches. Yeah, I was thinking, do I want to do that at 4? I do. I want to do it at 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to give me my mat that I need to live on top of my card. So that's going to go on about like that. I think I got a pencil mark or something right there, and I haven't even had a pencil out. Let me grab my soft eraser, and let's see if that'll come off. Sometimes, you know, with the mill of the paper, you will get little imperfections like that. I'm not sure. We can always turn it this way, can't we? That's why a paper has 2 sides. You know, if you've got an imperfection on one side, turn it over. The only thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to burnish this in this direction now. Alright, now this piece, I think what I want to do is I want to stamp those beautiful flowers, and I'm trying to debate on what color do I want these flowers to be. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do those. I might bring out my Stamparatus for this, and I'll tell you why. I want to make sure that I'm getting the placement perfectly aligned. and my Stamparatus allows me to do that. So I'm going to take out that mat, put this one in. Let me grab my magnet, and I only use one magnet at a time. These things are so super strong, and if they clank together, ooh. I speak from experience, because when I first got my Stamparatus, I did not realize how strong the magnets were. And guess what I did? Can you guess? Yeah, my magnets clanked together and they broke. Maybe I will pull the other magnet. Here it is. Because I'm using the mat, I might be okay. Maybe I can put one there and one here. There we go. And now I just want to get this on here so I can ink it up. And I think that's about the way I want it to fall. And I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp this in Highland Heather, because I want a tone on tone. So I'm going to grab my stamp set to put up underneath here. That works perfect to give you a flat edge to, and you know, you can't see the stamp there because it's clear, but if I do that, you can see the outline of my stamp. And I'm going to take my Highland Heather, and I'm just going to ink this up just like this. Now remember, these inks are very juicy, so you don't want to scrub, you just want to tap. Anytime you're using the Stampin' Up inks, they are extremely juicy. I'm just going to press this and press it just like that. And let's see what we got. Oh, isn't that pretty? I am going to, because I got my Stamparatus now, if I was stamping that with a block, I would go with that and leave it. But since I've got this on my Stamparatus, I'm going to make it just a little bit darker by re-inking and stamping it one more time. That's the beauty of the Stamparatus. And anybody that hasn't seen the Stamparatus and what it does, it comes with 2 plates. Let me grab the other plate. So if you're doing like a 2-step, let's say I wanted to use the inks, the other stamps that go over this, I could put this plate on right here and have it loaded up with my other stamps and come right down and stamp my color on. So I wouldn't have to peel these off and clean them and then try to get everything lined up. I can do that all in one shot, and that's what makes the Stamparatus a cut above any other stamping platform out there, because of the fact that it has the ability to stamp 2 ways. Love that feature. So if you have not invested in a Stamparatus, I want to tell you, it is one of the best stamping platforms. And I thought the Misty was, but and the Misty, if you have a Misty, you know they're a good stamping platform, but they don't have the versatility that that this one has. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt just a little bit of cleaner on that stamp, and the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to use my chamois, if I can find it. Here it is. But I just wanted a little extra cleaner on that to pick up that ink. And yes, you can use cleaner with your chamois. I do all the time, never have a problem. Cleans my stamps perfect every time. So look at that. Nice clean stamps, and I always love to clean my stamps as soon as I use them. It's just one of my little idiosyncrasies that I find, it's just one of those things I do. I don't know. It's the person that I am. So I don't like things to be, I guess I just like to take very good care of my products. So that would pretty much sum it up. There's those beautiful flowers, and see how pretty those turned out. And on that Highland Heather, oh my word, they are gorgeous. So I'm going to put my magnets back in the little storage space. That's another thing I love about this. You have a storage space for your magnets right here on the back, so you never have to wonder where they're at. This pad right here is an additional upgrade that you can add, but the Stamparatus comes with your mat, the mat for your photopolymer that gives you some cushion. It comes with this platform. Now this is you can wipe this off. This cleans off really well. This one I would suggest, if you're using it, to use a piece of grid paper, and they do have the grid paper that fits, and this is the grid paper that fits into the Stamparatus. And here is your piece of paper, and that way you've got grid lines if you're using your whichever stamps you're using. So I love that. But you can purchase, which I did, this is a foam mat, but it has a coating on it where if you stamp off and you get ink on this, you can wipe it clean because it has like a vinyl cover. And I love that. I absolutely, again, I cannot stress this enough. Stampin' Up! Thinks of everything. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this stuff out of my way. And I think the next thing I want to do is cut these out. So I'm going to grab my die, that big die, and I am going to angle this, let's see, this way. It helps if you turn the die the right way, doesn't it? And let's get that lined up just like whenever I'm doing something like this, I get really quiet because I'm concentrating. So if y'all smell smoke, don't be alarmed. Nothing's on fire. It's just my brain thinking hard. Now I'm going to take a couple of these Post-it flags just to hold that in place. And I'm going to bring over my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Love this machine. I cannot sing the praises of this machine enough. So I'm just going to lay this on here like that. And I'm going to put my number 3 plate. And this is a standard sandwich for doing your die cutting. And it's basically a number 1 plate, your number 2 adapter plate for your dies, your cut plate, and I always use the same plate for my cut plate. It's the one that gets all the grooves in it. Your piece of cardstock with your printed image and your die facing down, and then your number 3 plate or your top plate over top. And then all we're going to do is just crank this through. And look how easy that cranks. I'm telling you, Stampin' Up! Makes crafting so easy and so much fun. So I'm going to lay that right there. I'm going to flip my plate because that's what I do. I flip that top plate every time I use it. And I got a video out there where you can watch that will show you that you can use your plates without having any warping just by following the technique that I have. Mine came from trial and error and years of practice, so, but it does work. All right, now I'm going to grab that beautiful embossing folder, and I'm going to take these flowers, and I am going to add them in to this embossing folder, just where they go. And they're going to go right down in here. Okay, we're going to try this. Now, with anytime you're using, this is a 3D embossing folder, and you might want to know how that is 3D. Anytime you've got the thick folder like this, it is always a 3D folder. So you want to take all of your cutting plates off, all of your plates off except your number 1 plate, your embossing folder with your cardstock in it, and then you're going to use that number 4 plate that is a specialty plate. And that's always used with any of your thick 3D embossing folders. So we're going to try this and hope that this pans out for us. So we'll see. And if it doesn't, you know what we'll do? We'll go back and we'll revisit this. Let's see what we have. Alright, we did get a little texture. I'm not sure that I like it, but we got texture. So I'm going to grab a piece of the Highland Heather just for the heck of it. While I got this out, I'm going to put this piece of Highland Heather in here. I'm going to bring it down to my line. All of the Stampin' Up! Folders have, embossing folders have a line where you can line your paper up and know that you're getting it nice and straight. So I'm going to use that line to my advantage. And you can see that line right there. And I'm going to lay this back on. I'm going to cut this whole piece of Highland Heather embossed, because I'm not sure how I want to do this card yet. So I'm bringing y'all along for the ride. Oh, that's so pretty. I think what I want to do is I want to run this back through. I'm not sure if it's, I think it's going to flatten my flowers out if I do that. But you don't know until you try, do you? All right, let's give it the old school try. We don't know until we try it, so here we go. Embossing folder there. This plate back up here, and we've got our cut plates, and we are going to try this. It's probably going to iron it out, and I'm probably not going to like it, but you know what? I am going to try it. So we're going to put this over top of our flowers right there. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to take a piece of that tape and I'm going to lay this over and we're going to run this through. Now, I guarantee you it's going to flatten those flowers out. But let's see what happens. Not bad. Actually, I think I like that. It did leave some dimension in the flowers, which is gorgeous. And like I said, I had not played with this because I just got this yesterday. I got my UPS truck showed up with my Stampin' Up! Goodies, and y'all know what a feeling that is. So I was absolutely thrilled to get this. I think I like these better not inked, not stamped, than I do the stamped ones. What do y'all think? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. So in the process of trying to use the Highland Heather and the green and this Blushing Bride, I think what I want to do is I want some very subtle pieces on here, and I think I'm going to put these down on here like so. We're going to pop these up. I'm going to put my die back in here, and I think I'm going to get out these detailed ooh, come on. There we go. I'm going to get those detailed leaves out because I think they're gorgeous. And we are going to cut some of those out of this garden green. So let's trim off a little piece of this so we can cut some leaves. And it cuts 2 leaves at a time. So I'm just going to get a strip off about 2 inches because that's all we need. About 2 inches, don't you think? I think that'll work. So let's go ahead and cut this. And now we can get quite a few leaves out of this piece. And I think what I want is I want 6. So I can have 2 leaves for each flower. So I'm not going to bring my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these really quick. And these are detailed. They have lots of detail in them. So I'm going to cut 2 more. I got little green pieces everywhere, but you know what? That's okay. That's all the thing that we get when we die cut, and you know what? It's all right. And I'm going to cut 2 more. these leaves cut so beautifully. That is the joy of crafting, when you have equipment and tools that work so beautifully as the Stampin' Up does. It makes crafting, and all I'm doing over here is I'm just popping out my little pieces out of my leaves, because I do have a little bit of green left inside, but you can see how easy, I mean, they're falling out with my fingers. So I'm just cleaning these out, and I'm trying to keep all my little pieces over here in one little conglomerated area, so it'll be easy to clean up. I can just rake these off into my trash and be right on my way with putting this card together. So there we go. And I think what I'm going to do is right there. And let's do that. All right, so I know that I want to pop these up. I know that they need to go up, but let's put some leaves with them and see what they look like. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I think that leaf goes like that. That wouldn't be good to put my leaves on the wrong, growing in the wrong direction, would it? I think what I want to do is maybe put the leaves on with some glue dots. So let's grab a glue dot. And I am going to just pick up a glue dot like that. Oh, you know what I did? I put it on the wrong side. That's okay. Glue dots are very forgiving. So make sure you put your glue dots on the, you know what? I think I want to do one other thing, and I'm hoping it's not going to mess this up. I think I want to add a little bit of depth by using a little bit of ink blending. So I'm going to pull out a piece of scrap grid paper, and I'm going to grab a blending brush. And I have one that I dedicate to my purples, and I'm going to use Highland Heather. I just want to see if rubbing a little Highland Heather over that will bring that to life a little bit more. So let's I like that. That definitely does give it a little bit more depth. Look at the two. A little bit more depth of color, don't you think? So I think I'm going to do the rest of these just to bring out those petals. Love these blending brushes. If you have not gotten the blending brushes, oh my goodness, I think they're on back order again. But if anybody's interested in getting them, if you will let me know, shoot me an email, I will let you know when they come back in. I'll keep an eye on when they're going to be available, and let you know, because I am here to tell you, oh, they're the bomb. These are the best blending brushes that I have ever used, and I've used different types of blending tools and brushes. These are superb, and you get 3 in a pack, so it's 3 in a pack. They are $12, but you know, that's $4 a brush. No, $3 a brush. No, $4 a brush. I can't do my math this morning. Sorry about that, y'all. Math was never my strong suit. I was more a literature and history kind of girl. I love to read, so those subjects came very easy to me. Math was one of those things that I often tell the story about me taking accounting, which is back in the day it was bookkeeping, but I literally failed bookkeeping. I never failed anything, but I failed I failed bookkeeping. Oh my goodness, it just did not it didn't resonate in my head. So all right, I'm going to put a glue dot on the back, on the front, sorry, the front of this leaf. I think I am. I'm going to attempt to put a glue dot right there. Well, that one didn't want to cooperate, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get our Take Your Pick tool. I am going to wrestle with some glue dots and let them know who the boss is. And here's my glue dots. And I found out with my glue dots, if I leave them in the box and roll those out this way, I have a lot more control over them. So I'm going to put this glue dot right here. And I'm going to put it right there. And I think I want one more coming down this way. So let's see if this one will work. I don't think that one's going to work. Let's do this. Well, I'll tell you what, this leaf right here is giving me some woe. I am going to put you right there, whether you like it or not. So let's get our glue dots. Again, my Take Your Pick tool. Pick one up. And I am going to put that glue dot right here. Alright, y'all, I'm having trouble with my glue dots. Let's try this again. Alright, glue dot. I'm going to put it right there on top of the leaf, and then I'm going to slide it under my flower. Like that. So I'm going to build these flowers up with the leaves using my glue dots, just like that. So another glue dot, and you want to make sure you're putting it on the front of your leaf, and the leaf should go that way, so that's going on the top. Bella. My dog is down here snoring up a storm. I think she's dreaming. Okay, we got one on that, and maybe one right here. So let's try this again. Oh, that one worked. That one came right up. Maybe they're learning they're not going to defeat me. Okay, that one's done. And now let's do these two on this last flower. And I think for this one, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my glue dots on the back of the flower itself. Let's put one there. This might have been the easier way to do this all along. What do you think? Let's put one leaf here. And one leaf right there. Alright, there's our leaves. So now we need to turn them over because we're going to do some pop-ups. I'm going to tear off my excess. And now I'm going to use some dimensionals. But I'm wondering if I want to do, I want to use a piece of the pink. We're going to make a mat out of this. So I am going to make a mat that is 4 5 1/4. 5 1/4. And we are going to run that through that embossing folder. Just want to add a little extra dimension. Getting rid of some of my little green crumbs that was hanging over here from my leaves. Now, if you're one of those people like me that loves detail in your items, you really want to get yourself a die machine. It brings everything to the next level because it makes the fact that you can die cut and you can emboss just makes this machine absolutely the bomb diggity. So, you know, think about it. Save your money up, and not because I sell it, but I would highly recommend the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This machine, if I didn't sell Stampin' Up, I would use this machine because it is without a doubt the best I've ever used. And I think anybody that has this machine would totally agree with me. It is so much fun to use. It's so easy to use for one thing. And it always does a super job. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. So now if we want to put these flowers down, I think I might need to pop this one off. How pretty would it be to put these on top of this? Like that. And then we might have to rearrange our leaves, but I think this is going to be pretty. So what I want to do is I'm doing a tone on tone, the pink on pink. I love that. So let's see if we can get our flowers on first. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take as much trouble as I had getting my leaves on. I'm taking them off because I'm going to pop these up. These are going to get popped up on some dimensionals, and then we will position leaves under them. I didn't think this through. And I'm sure that in your craft room you've done very similar things. You know, it's a trial and error type deal. So sometimes you just need to play, and that's what we've done today. We've come in here and we've played with this brand new stamp set, die, and embossing folder that all coordinate so beautifully together. Love the coordination. And of course, you know, I am stepping out of the box with this color challenge, but hey, these colors I think work well together. This is not a hard, you know, it's not like we had a brown and a light green and a purple. This I think worked out really well. I hate picking these off like that. I like to pull them off. I always say I'm wrangling them. I am wrangling them all up on this little take your pick tool because it works so great for getting these off with no effort at all. And then I can put those in the trash and I don't have to worry about them. Alright, let's see if this one will go right here, and that does. And this one goes right here, just like that. And then this one goes right here, like that. Now we can come back, and I think I'm going to put my leaves on using a little bit of glue. Let's get them where we want them, and then we'll come back and glue them in. One there. One there. Maybe that one right there. There. And maybe there. Oh, I love that. Isn't that pretty? So we will come back and definitely address that. Put those leaves in. Then we're going to make us a sentiment. And I think I'm going to do the sentiment out of the pink. We'll do something really pretty with that. And let's use a little bit of our liquid glue. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put a little bit of glue. Get my little glue moving here. I'm going to put just a dab on the top and a dab on the bottom. And then I'm going to stick that up underneath there and just press it. This is where you take your pick tool, comes in handy too, because you can get in those small places and actually press it down. And the reason I'm putting it top and bottom, because that way it will adhere both under the flower and on the cardstock itself. And I think that's always a good idea. Anytime you're gluing something like this that's a loose cannon, so to speak, it's always good to have a little extra glue under there. So let's do this one. I still got a little sticky on these from the glue dots that I had put on them. So let's not use the glue dots. I think this is working out much better by doing them this way. And that way, you know, what really messed me up is I had an afterthought. My afterthought was to emboss this piece and then put the flowers down over top of it, which I think, I love this. I think it looks very pretty. And one leaf right there. Okay, so all we need to do now is we need a strip, and let's see what we've got on here as far as "You're a rare find, never not loving you, thanks for making me happy." I think I want something a little bolder, so let me look in my stamp sets. This is a new set called Sunny Sentiments, and I love this. Look at this one right here, A Happy Hello to You. Now we don't need either of those cushions this time. I do need a piece of pink. So in our stamp, I'm going to start it right here. Go ahead and pick that up. And I am going to grab a magnet just to hold this in place. And you're going to find out the magnets hold very tight on this because you have no extra cushioning, so one will be more than enough. Alright, so now I'm going to take my stamp set and bring it right there, my case, to help me with this. And I'm going to ink this up. And this is the beauty of the Stamparatus. I can ink it. I can re-ink it. And I can ink it again. until I get this as dark as I want it. And that looks beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to set my ink back over here. I'm going to grab my chamois because I'm like that. And I'm going to clean this off. And we can put this right there, pull this off. We can trim that out now and we are good to go. So I'm going to take that magnet off, put this back together, put my magnet back here. And let's decide how we want to do this. I got a little bit of ink right there, but I'm going to try to get rid of that with my Mono Sand eraser. Now, this is not a Stampin' Up product, but you can get this on Amazon. Just look for a Mono Sand eraser. Or you might find it in your local craft store. But it sands away sometimes any imperfections like that. So I'm going to stick this back into my trimmer. And I'm going to try to trim that off even. It's pretty good. And right here, like that. And then we can always trim about a ½ inch. Oops. And let's do a ½ inch on this side. And then this piece ends up being about 3 inches. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take enough off of that to make it exactly 3. And that was just a smidgen. Alright, so now I am going to use this punch, and I think I'm just going to do it on the top. I'm going to put that all the way in and punch. And then I'm going to do this side and punch. And I think just on the top is all we need. And look how beautiful that's going to look on there. Alright, so this is going to get popped up. So dimensionals. Put one there, one here, one down here, one right there. I'm going to take these off. And I think I want this to go right here at the bottom. I'm going to need another dimensional on that one because these are popped up, so this one's going to need one more right there in that bottom corner in order to make it work. Yep. So I'm going to lay another one right on top and take the backer off of it. And let's sit that down right about here. Looks like we need one right there too. Okay, let's get another one right. Let's go ahead and put one at the bottom too. It looks like we need them all the way across the bottom. Anytime you've got a double height where you're putting something like this over top, you are going to have to remember to make these double. So pretty. Let's see. I want that there. Do I want it up here? I think I like it there. Haha. Much better. Which means we need another one up here. We're getting there, y'all. Trial and error. Like I said, I'm bringing y'all along today for the ride. I had not worked with this stamp set, but I thought it was gorgeous. I should say stamps and dies. I think it was more. Look at that. That is so pretty. I love, love, love it. So I am going to take some liquid glue because I've got all of these little crevices and crannies back here. So I am going to put plenty of liquid glue on the back of that, and then I'm going to very gently press this down onto our card base. And there is our card. How pretty is that? I love that. All we need to do is put a piece of white inside. And I'm going to wait on doing the inside because I'm not sure who's going to get this card. But I would definitely put a piece of white cardstock on the inside. Or you could do another piece of the pink. And, you know, you could do something like this. And maybe even frame this with a die. Let's use the Stitch So Sweetly. We'll go ahead and put a piece inside for our sentiment. I'm going to cut this. Once I get my plates over here, I will. This little piece cut, and now we can just put this in here, and we've got pink on pink, and I stayed with my color coordination, so when I get ready to put my message on, I can put it in that with black ink, and we have a beautiful card. Is that not gorgeous? Love the colors. I think I kept to the color challenge, and I love this. I think it turned out very, very pretty. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that if this is something that you would make, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I'm going to bring you down so you can see a nice image of this card. There we go. So pretty. I love the delicateness of the flowers in that particular stamp set. Is so pretty. And remember, that set is called, and I did have it just here, Art in Bloom. Yeah, Art in Bloom. And the dies are called Bloom Hybrid Embossing Folder and Bloom dies. Such a pretty, pretty set. I got to get these off and put them on my magnetic sheets. I haven't done yet, but this is a gorgeous, gorgeous set. I love it. I love the way it cuts. I love the way it embosses. The embossing folder is awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope this is something that you might like to endeavor. If you have not joined my Facebook group, go over to Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin' on Facebook and request to join, and I would love to have you over there. Everything Stamping Up will be posted there, and the tutorials, you can go there and click without even having to worry about YouTube, and it will take you directly to my videos. So thanks again so much, and you can also share your projects there too, because I want to see what you're doing. So if you make something like this, let me see it. I would love to see all of your creativity. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up for a like. All of that helps me continue to grow my channel and put me out there where more people can find me, and that I love to share my crafting ideas and my tidbits of knowledge with everyone. God bless you and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy of our honor, our praise, and our life. And until we craft again, may God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.